Let's look over the review for the Algebra 1 test for the first half of Chapter 8. Okay, let's see. Let's expand this. There we go. So starting with number 14. It says write each polynomial in standard form. Standard form means you write the highest exponent first and then move down from there. And it's the highest exponents of the variables. So this is x to the second, so it's got the highest variable. This is x to the first, so it has the second highest variable. This has no x at all, so it comes last. So that's in standard form right there. Now they didn't ask this for this question, but if they do ask for the leading coefficient, that would be 3. The leading coefficient is the number that's in front of the biggest power. 16. We start with 2 plus 3x plus x squared. And they just put it in complete reverse for us here. Because we need to start with the biggest exponent. And that's what's last here, it's x squared. Then next to the first comes after that. And then the thing with no variable goes last. Find each sum or difference. When you are adding, the parentheses really make no difference at all. They don't do anything. So you can ignore the parentheses completely when you're adding two pieces like this. So we look for like terms. This is a like term and this is a like term because they both have x cubes. This is 1x cubed plus negative 3x cubed. 1 plus negative 3 is negative 2 x cubed. Then these are like terms. 2 plus negative 5. And they're like terms because they have no variables at all. They're constants. 2 plus negative 5 is negative 3. Okay, 20. We're also adding 4x minus 3x squared plus 5 plus 2x squared minus 5x plus 1. Oof, okay. So make sure you focus on the like terms. So I usually go with the biggest exponents first. We have a negative 3x squared plus 2x squared. Negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. And it's okay if you write a negative 1. You don't have to, but if you put a 1 there, that's completely fine. So I'll just cross those out so you know they're covered. Then we have a 4x and a negative 5x. Those are both x to the first, that's why they're like terms. 4 plus negative 5 is negative 1x. If you want to write a 1, that's fine, but you don't have to. That leaves us with a 5 and a 1. 5 plus 1 is 6. Okay, 22. We're asked to solve this equation. Before we solve this, we will have to distribute. So our first step is to distribute the x squared on the left. X squared times x. Remember, you add the exponents together, so it's x cubed. X squared times 2 is 2x squared. X times x squared is x cubed. X times 2x is 2x squared. And then x times 1 is x. This may look like it's going to be really complicated to solve, but there's good news. Check this out. We subtract x cubed from both sides, they disappear. If we subtract 2x squared from both sides, they disappear. So since everything's gone on this side, all that's left is 0. All that's left on this side is x. So our final answer is that x equals 0. (24) Same instructions, we're trying to solve, in this case for w. So first we need to distribute. 2 times 4w is 8w. And 2 times w squared is w squared. Notice this 2 only applies what's inside the parentheses. We don't double the 6 because it's not inside the parentheses. We only use these two multiplied by 2. 2w times w is 2w squared. 2w times 4 is 8w. And again, the 2w is not multiplied by the 10 because the 10 is not inside the parentheses. Okay, so let's see. We notice we have 2w squared, 2w squared, so those cancel out. Sorry. Then we have 8w minus 6 on this side. Over here, you know what? It's funny. Here I told you, don't apply the 2w to the 10. And what did I do? Oh my goodness. Very sorry. So that should be negative 8w plus 10. Now let's add 8w over to this side. And let's add the 6 over to this side. So then we divide by 16, and we get w equals 1. Because anything divided by itself is equal to 1. For 26, we are foiling. X times x is x squared. That's the first. X times 7 is 7x. That's the outer. Negative 3 times x is the inner. Negative 3 times 7 is the last. And we can combine these middle two terms because they're like terms. 7x minus 3x is 4x. I'm sorry, minus 21. Okay, same process for 28. So 3r times 2t, 3 times 2 is 6, r times r is r squared, 3r times 5t, 3 times 5 is 15, and r times t, we just leave it as rt. Negative 7 times 2 is negative 14, t times r, you can write it as tr or rt, it doesn't matter. The order that these are put in doesn't matter, it's still the same thing. And then negative 7 times 5 is negative 35, and t times t is t squared. These are like terms. Even if you have this written as tr, they're still like terms. They both have an r and a t. 15 minus 14 is 1, and if you want to put 1 you can, but you don't have to. But that would be our final answer. Okay, on number 30, they give us a picture of a parking lot. Let's find the area. So here's the basic thing they tell us. So we got 2x plus 3 here, and 5x minus 4 here. So area of a rectangle is length times width, so we need to multiply 5x minus 4 times 2x plus 3. And if you put this piece first and this piece second, that's fine. The final answer will be the same either way. 5 times 2 is 10. X times x is x squared. 5 times 3 is 15, and we keep the x. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8, and we keep the x. Negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. We have like terms right there to get our final answer. So that's the area that needs to be paved. Okay, I think I can fit 32 right over here. So we're finding the product. So you got to remember, this is very, very important. This is a mistake people make far past 8th grade. When you see this, you've got to remember what squared means. Squared means times itself. So you should rewrite this as 3x minus 2 times 3x minus 2. Because that's what the squared really means. So then we do FOIL first. Outer inner last. That's a positive 4 because it's negative 2 times negative 2. And we'll combine the two middle terms. Giving us negative 12x. And we have the answer. Okay, we're over halfway done. Bear with me. 34 is also asking us to find the product, so we'll FOIL on this one as well. 2x minus 3, 2x plus 3. 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times 3 is 6x. Negative 3 times 2x is negative 6x. Negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. This time, the two like terms in the middle actually cancel each other out because it's a positive 6 minus 6, so they just go away. And all that's left is 4x squared minus 9. Okay, we'll see something similar happen on 36. 3m minus 2, 3m plus 2. Now you can use the shortcut here if you remember it. Since it uses the same two terms, but one's negative, one's positive, what's going to happen is we have the first term squared minus the second term squared. So your final answer will be 9m squared minus 4. But I'll show you how you can get the same answer with FOIL. First, you get the 9m squared. Do outer, you get positive 6m. Do the inner, you get negative 6m. Do the last, you get negative 4. And as you can see, these two cancel out, leaving you with just the 9m squared minus 4, which is what we got with the shortcut. But you don't have to remember the shortcut if you choose to just use sorry, I lost my train of thought. If you just choose to do the FOIL, that's completely fine. No problem at all. 38. We are trying to look for the common denominator here. So if you look, we got to figure out what number can go evenly into both of these, and what's the biggest number that can go evenly into both of these, and that would be 12 in this case. Now there are no variables they have in common, so we'll leave that just as it is. So 12 divided by 12 is 1, so we have 1x. And you don't have to put the 1, but it's fine if you do. 24 divided by 12 is 2, and we have to leave the y because we did not pull out any variables. Okay, last one. On this page anyway, got 2 on another page. 8xy minus 16x cubed y plus 10y. So we're looking for first what number can go evenly into all of them. So 4 does, and 8 goes into both of these, but neither 4 nor 8 goes into 10. So 2 is the biggest number we can pull out of all three. These two have an x, but this does not, so we can't pull out an x. But all three of them do have a y, so we can pull a y out front. 8 divided by 2 is 4. The x stays because we didn't do anything with x, but the y is gone because we pulled it out front. 16 divided by 2 is 8. We did nothing to the x, so we leave it as it is, but we took the y out, so there's no more y. 10 divided by 2 is 5, and we took that y out front, so there's no y left. Okay, then I assigned 2 on page 551. Let's see. Okay, just more factoring practice here. So 13, we have 5xy minus 10x. So the number that's the biggest number that can go evenly to both of them is 5. And they both have an x, so I can pull that out as well. Well, I took away the 5, I took away the x, so all that's left here is a y. 10 divided by 5 is 2, but we took away the x, so it's gone. Just a reminder, if you want to check your answer, you don't have to, but if you want to, you can just distribute the 5x back in. You'll see we get right back where we started. Last one. Again, we are factoring. We're trying to find out what they all have in common. 7ab plus 14ab squared plus 21a squared b. So we got to figure out the biggest number that all of them have in common. That'd be a 7. They all do have at least one a, so we can pull one a out front. Because these two only have one. This one does have two of them, a times a, but we can only pull out one from these. And all of them have at least one b. This one has two, but these two only have one each, so we can only pull out one b. Okay, so a caution here. Lots of people just say, oh, we took the whole thing out, so that piece is just gone. It's not gone, because if you remember, I told you factoring is kind of like dividing. So we're really dividing this by itself. I mean, all that's left is the number 1. Because 7 divided by 7 is 1, a divided by a is 1, b divided by b is 1. Okay, 14 divided by 7 is 2. We took away the a, so it's gone. We took away 1b, so we're down to just b. 21 divided by 7 is 3. We took one of the a's away, leaving one left over. We took its only b away, so that leaves that as our answer. So if you need to practice more, just go back and do the evens or odds on that first page like 546 to 548, and do your best.